welcome to this podcast. And first of all, let me introduce all the guests on today's podcast. We have Coach Ram. Author Ram.
Coach is fine for now.
Coach Ram, as you know Ram very well, he's on everywhere, wherever you are there. And big thanks to Dr. Manish Kothari for helping us in organizing this podcast. And who do not know Rajnikant? So Rajnikant from film industry and is a Rajnikant from HR industry. Yeah, Rajnikant, you from, they both are from the very senior HR folks who will be going to discuss and make us learn about the deeper aspect of HR. So we'll begin this, the entire session, especially this podcast, in and around HR, and mainly we'll be going to discuss about the challenges in HR, what HR people are facing. So Dr. Manish, share something about, the first generation institute ISBR.
Wow, thank you, and such an amazing thing. One, getting people of like-mindedness to come together and interact is one good thing. Second good thing my friend is doing is connecting us to the external world, and it's so necessary that we passed on what we have learned to the next generations and to the people who are watching this video, so that they understand the deep intricacies of a company, of the whole field of HR, and moves ahead to learn as much as possible. And I have seen the passion with which he is doing. And thank you once again for bringing us together and talking about things. The first thing he's asked me to speak about is ISBR Business School. So ISBR Business School is one of a pioneer business school in Electronic City. We are one of the top 10 schools when it comes to PGDM in Electronic City, Bangalore. We have more than 10,000 students who have graduated from us. We have a very unique PGDM program wherein students right from day one when he comes to the institution, he works, gets hands-on experience on how to do things, interacts with corporates, and then moves along. Everything we do in this institution, ISBR, is in association and in partnership with industries. Right from the curriculum we set, right from the students getting mentored, right from the faculty who co-teaches with industry. So ISBR has been a very unique institution in its own space. We are NBA accredited in its first attempt. And let me tell you, my friends, there are only 3% of institutions in the country that were accredited in their first attempts in the management area. And not only that, ISBR has been platinum ranked by AICTE CII survey. This is the only survey in the world which is jointly done by the industry and the education institutes together. And it's been 7 years in a row that ISBR has been rated as platinum. Again, till last 3 years, there were only about 7% of the institutions that were rated as platinum. So that's ISBR Business School for you. I mean, there's so much I can tell you about ISBR, but then please take your journey forward.
So I have a lot of questions for you, which I'll be going to ask in the later part of the podcast.
Looking forward.
Yeah. Now, coming to the very important topic, the challenges in HR. As now HR has taken a front seat in the overall organizational things, and especially for developing and growing the organization in terms of helping the people to achieve their business goals, right? So we have Coach Ram. Coach Ram is the Chief Learning Officer. So Ram, share some light on how things are changing. People were thinking earlier, spending a lot of time with one organization. Now the thought has changed. If you see the Gen Z, if you see even the millennials, the way they are changing their mindset and other things, attrition is one of the most important things. So what are the few factors you feel that the HR need to take as an initiative?
Great. Thanks, Pankaj, for having me over. The famous quote that I like about the current talent market is even if you are not changing your job, the job you are doing is changing.
Can you repeat it again? I would like to hear it out.
Very right, very right.
Even if you are not changing your job, the job you are doing is changing. So right now we are in ISBR. If you look at how MBA students were taught 5 years ago to how they are being taught now, very different. So a professor here has to change. Similarly, even in corporate, anyone who is doing a job, they cannot be doing it the same way.
True.
So one needs to constantly learn, develop their skills. The shelf life of skills is becoming shorter and shorter. Earlier we used to quote, the top 20 companies 30 years ago are not in the list right now. In similar vein, now the top skills of 30 years ago are not at all top skills now. Those skills are taken over by AI, will be taken over by AI. We need higher order skills. So constant learning and development, constantly questioning yourself. And one question that I would ask everyone to reflect on, because I've seen leaders, getting into their roles, spend few years, and then get comfortable in those roles. The question I ask them to reflect on is, if there was a successor to you, what would he do differently? And that makes us relook at ourselves completely, start afresh, start every day as day one, and that's what we say, right? It's not about, startup is not a, these days everyone says, start every day as day one.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly changing, constantly evolving. So in this kind of a dynamic ecosystem, where skills need to be constantly updated, customers' experience and expectations is constantly accelerating, advancing. People want things more and more convenient, and hence in terms of backward integration, how we make things simple for our customers has to be even more evolving. So in this kind of an ecosystem, the role that HR has to play is, that's how I see that HR has become more and more important, because capability building to meet the needs of an organization that needs to operate differently every year. So HR plays a great role in terms of capability building, getting the right talent, able to attract the right talent, build them, and build an organization for the future. So all around talent, keeping the market in mind. So that's what I see is the greater role of HR.
Yeah. So there was a case study. It's a Harvard case study which says that many students, those are studying in even the engineering colleges, right? So in the entire startup world, they start beginning something of their own from the first year, second year, and the third year probably they take drop out. Because they see that more relationship with the business. They see that what is this being taught there in the colleges, right, has very less relationship with what is market is really demanding. So to meet this gap, what education institute, maybe the engineering institutes or the management institute needs to take that change. So Dr. Manish, you can throw some light on this, that how someone can be the industry focused here, right? So once the student is ready after his course or her course, he'll be ready for the market. And any organization or big corporate is happy to have that person in the team.
Yeah, I'm thankful to what he said, that if there you change the job or no, but the skill sets are changing. And that's very true. In fact, there was a time that once you define a program structure, the program structure lives on for a decade. And education institutions used to continue with that program structure again and again, just like the cassette that you used to put and play. Things have changed. I mean, forget months and years. If we do not review our curriculum, say especially in the field of HR, every semester once, I mean, we have doomed with the curriculum that we have. So, point number one, where you said that how do we battle this out? See, earlier it was like institute used to prepare the candidates and then hand it over to the corporates and industries. Gone are the days. Now is the time the institute and the industry have to work together from day one. Right from the time I'm recruiting my student here at ISBR, our panel members has a person from industry, has a person from academia, has an alumni, and has the academic team on board. And this panel member decides whether the students will get into the course or no. Is the student and the course mapped properly? And only if they are mapped, he gets in the course, he or she gets in the course. Now let's look at second, the designing of curriculum cannot happen unless and until I take the industry on board. So if the industry is not onboarded, the curriculum is not vetted by the person who's finally going to take the product. Knowledge can be given, attitude can be given, but when it comes to skills, the industry has to vet it that भैया ये बच्चा हमारे इस पोजीशन के लिए fit होगा. So what we have done is we have divided our whole curriculum into such that the skills part of it is vetted by the industry.
Yeah, interesting you say that. Sorry to interrupt there. I have been approached by a couple of universities, and it was a proper meeting that they went through. They walked us through the curriculum, what they have planned, and asked us to give our opinions, and then took our consent saying, okay, this is good to go. So this seems to be a new requirement now that colleges need to get that stamp from corporate saying this is conducive to what the market needs.
Yes, and only when you get the seal, you move ahead with that curriculum for the students, with that program for the student. Now we don't stop here. The moment this program is designed together, mark my words, the execution also has to be jointly done. So at ISBR what happens, I'll tell you. There is one academician who enters the class, and along with that you have a co-teacher. We have started a concept known as co-teaching. A person from the industry also walks together. Now, you were very right. A student used to say that what I have learned before is not right when I go to the corporate. It's a mismatch. Now, no more of saying that. When co-teaching happens, a person from the industry and a person from the academia teaches the course together. So, at present, the percentage of academia and industry at ISBR is about 60-40, which is very
quite
good.
High.
So the person from industry comes and gives his live cases to the students, and the student solves it as he is a part of the class.
So this 40% is where industry folks who have full-time jobs take out their time and spend time with the college students.
Yes, fantastic. People like you who come and you want to give back. What a better way to give back? And people from industry has now accepted this model and have appreciated it. Now we don't stop here. We have a 6th level of mentorship for the students. I'll tell you what 5 are later in our later part of the talk. But the 6th one, which is a very important one, is an industry mentorship. So every student gets one personal mentor from the industry. So if I am an HR student, I write to him, hey, I have been working on HR dynamics and the new age practices of HR. Can I talk to you? And the mentor and the mentee connect and they work on it. I mean, gone are the days where industry used to take a student on board and says 1 year तुमको training देंगे. भैया तुमको और क्या आता है HR में? And that's how they want the person to come on board. So the industry and the institution working together. So we do have 7 models of such working together. I've just narrated 2 of them. So once these practices are followed, the gap between the industry and institute comes down drastically, and the course that you are offering is a very practical course.
So, 2 universities, let me share the example of 2 universities. They do this at the first week with their students, right? So I feel that if any institutions, people, academicians, they are watching this, they can learn from this example. And this is the case study published by Harvard, which says that within the first week of their admission, they ask them to, just close their eyes and they do this simulation exercise. Okay, whatever you are dreaming to become, can you just draw this rather than writing in the words? Just draw this, and where do you see you position yourself into that particular industry? This position is forming, and they keep this as a record. Right, and once they complete their course, after 10 years, they call all these people, their alumni meet and see, and they show them this is what you have drawn, and exactly these people are there.
Lovely.
So this is more of cognitive kind of thing, when the institutions and the academicians, they realize the importance of such activities, especially in their institute. I feel that institute, this is a big success for the institute, right? So, Rajni,
I think this, very interesting example that you spoke about. Visioning is what you call it as, and that's more important because you cannot lay a very, and what I call is 2 types of goal setting.
Correct.
Whether it is a bullseye goal setting or it is a compass goal setting. Bullseye goal setting is, on my first day, I am writing down saying that I need to be in this company with this CTC with this grade. that is a very bullseye goal setting. Vis-a-vis where what the example that you gave is like a compass. What's the direction that I want to go, where I want to be?
Yeah.
Because it's very, very, by the time you complete in 5 years, what you know of now would have changed.
For sure. You're right. And 5 years is a big time now.
So another example, I was conducting a session in one of the universities, just lecture. I asked one guy, tell me what are you learning here? He said, sir, I am doing my MBA in finance. Okay, I said, fine, you are in which year? He said, sir, I am in the final year. Okay, what do you really like to do? He said, sir, I would like to go to the marketing. Then I asked him, why is finance here? There was no answer. He was point blank, when I asked this question. So why this maybe over a period of time he might have seen someone who was very successful and influential, and that is why my personal thing over a period of time I develop. I always tell the faculties, your students they are having love for that particular subject, not because of that subject, because of the way you are teaching, the kind of the methodologies, the kind of this is what the seed you sow deep into their heart, and they fall in love with that particular subject, and then they decide. How I became trainer. There was a trainer I saw that he was very much successful, and the way he actually accelerated in his delivery and everything, it was absolutely mesmerizing for me. And I was just sitting there saying, hey, I should be like this. Why cannot I become like this? And so my attraction, my pull towards that particular thing has increased, and that is why it has become today. So there are many factors are here, which is really important for us to understand. Now, Rajnikant, from you, we would like to understand few learning strategies once someone joins the organizations, which are very, very helpful.
Very good. Thank you, Pankaj, for asking this. I take the cue from that Manish, what he said. So as you said, industry now don't want people to take and train. So really, we want them to work on, if possible, on day one, right? So that's why many of corporates, we send them like all the induction material, make them whether skill-based or any quick orientation about, they should not be starting what is this new company.
True.
So since you are involving in their industry into the institute, corporates also expect if they come, a HR person comes or marketing comes, how quickly he takes charge. So the question to maybe the freshers is are you in tune with only academics or what is expected out of you? So few institutions this, how you are telling, they are preparing in advance.
True.
Right? And another thing that comes to me when Coach Ram was saying, so I do have associate with a couple of universities as a board of studies member. So I do give, especially for management school on the induction day, give a talk. So I said, instead of giving a talk, I do something. So I create a vision exercise, right? In the sense, I make them give few minutes, like maybe 30 minutes. I ask them, earlier I started with those days with chart. They have to make out at the end of second year, your graduation day, just imagine, right? When you are stepping out, how you want to be. Now I ask them to make a 2-minute video. Mm-hmm. And on day one induction, everyone come and share and then put it. So that gives a lot of direction. Many people, as you said, why you came, you ask in the day one, various reasons will be there. Some from business background, they say that I want an MBA, or someone says that, yeah, this is the right course I thought, and I still don't have a clear idea about what specialization should be. But this exercise made them to think, right? So some of them said, I got placed in this company, right? I said, keep watching this. This will guide you in that direction. So coming back, the industries want, or corporate want them to work on day one to your full potential. That's what.
Yeah. So Rajnikant, even though someone joins the organization, right, and making them, the integral part of the system and making them realize that how your job is important for the growth of the organization. Right. So there are certain, the techniques are there, which I feel that HR people, maybe, after talent acquisition, we talk about talent management people, L&D people need to really imbibe into their own, the system and the progression of that particular person at the initial 3 months or maybe for the 6 months. So that 3 to 6 month learning plan is really very, very important.
True.
See, it's not what you expect from them, but the important thing is what they expect from you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So looking into this gap especially, and the changes, what the generation is changing now, the thought process of Gen Z is completely different. Right. You can't go with the old school of thought that the people will be continue here for 5 years or 10 years with you. What are the few things I would like to learn it from Ram? What are the few things you feel is really important, and if you can share with from your own example?
Yeah. See, because you spoke about Gen Z and now we are moving into Alpha.
Yeah.
How people looked at jobs, careers has evolved drastically. From a time when, my father worked in an organization for 35 years and retired. To I've worked in about 6-7 organizations so far. And I'm so sure in first 6 years my son will work in 6-7 organizations. Right. So
true. Very true.
You are the concept of come, settle, 6 months probation, learn,
Gone.
those are all gone. That's on one side. Even we are saying that we want them to come join 1 week, get on with it, etc. And a new term has gained more prominence recently called purpose. And for me, I feel purpose is at the core of talent engagement and performance management. Right? You tell a guy, and a lot of people have problem with Gen Z, Alpha, saying they are careless, they don't care, and all of those things. All that is stemming because you are not thinking like them, and they don't bother to think what you think of them.
Exactly. Very right. Very right.
So it's about how do you appeal to them, saying why you are doing what you are doing and how is that helping the organization. Right? It's not about smart goals, etc. But if they find some purpose,
They are on it.
You are asking me to do this because of this, and this is going to lead to this impact, they'll surprise you with what they are capable of.
I'll give you an example on this.
Yeah, please.
They'll surprise you on what they are, he said, okay? So let me give you a classic example which is going on in ISBR. ISBR 2 months ago thought of starting a senior citizen school.
Okay.
So I had my senior most team who were not involved in many other things, and I spoke about senior citizen school. They came out in 1 week with a plan of action, and when I looked at it, looked like may not work. So then I had my son who had just completed 12th, Gen Z, and I told him about the senior citizen school idea. He's very right, the purpose. If it sticks to them, they have done it, they'll do it. He said, Daddy, I have liked this idea. Okay. He took up the plan and he said, Daddy, I'll do it my way. Within 1 week, he recruited 10 more Gen Z people. 12th standard, all St. Josephites. They came together. They started in a team. There was no head, there was no lower position. They divided the jobs. And they created a master plan of a senior citizen school. Within the first 30 days, this institution, ISBR, saw 108 senior citizens who joined this school. The first plan said it will take 6 months to execute. These people in 30th day made 100 plus senior citizens join the school and come together from all parts of Bangalore. After that, they went to the second stage. They created a program, a detailed program on this senior citizen school, and 30 senior citizens paid up for this program, and they are undergoing this program at ISBR now. And in another 6 weeks from now, you will see the first graduation day of the senior citizens. Now this is run by a Gen Z. Idea would be by the institution is a different matter, but it is run by a complete Gen Z student, and the senior citizens are loving it. I mean, a senior citizen being mentored by a Gen Z. I'm just adding to what is said. If they have taken it on a purpose and if they've liked it, I mean, then there's no stopping them.
You need to
like to share here something which is very, very prominent here at this point of time. So there is a question that why someone really works. What makes them to work? Is it really food or something else? So the answer is the purpose.
Yeah.
And there is a book written by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. The name of the book is called The Flow. Right? He said that when somebody is working for the purpose, there is a state of flow. Right, and which is the most productive, the state of for anyone to perform, where somebody really forget his or her own identity itself, because you are into that particular thing. You don't remember that you are feeling hungry. You don't remember you are feeling thirsty. You don't remember who are the people waiting for you. You don't remember what is your next assignment is. Yes. So this is what what drives people to work. Organization, or especially the corporates, they can show them the purpose of working them. That is why are you keeping them inclusive into the organization? Are you showing them that how your job is really important? Yeah. So this relationship is really very much important, and where the reverse mentoring, what you just shared,
yes.
that the teaching to the older, this is should be the culture even in the organization also. Yeah. So there is a lady in London. Her name is called Jane Hart. She runs a center of performance there, and she is working on the concept from last many years that is called the workplace learning, WPL. She said that in each and every organization, once someone enters here, the organizational learning which keeps him or her on the track. Right. So this is called the workplace learning, which is the emerging concept in India. Now people are started, imbibing.
Yeah.
Now
adding to what Pankaj said, right? I hope you all are aware about the book called Ikigai.
Yeah.
The purpose. So one exclusive chapter is on flow, right? So how you bring out? Is it possible? So I'm doing being a psychometric assessor and things like that, especially to develop the potential. So I'm trying to find out, especially for the students. Yeah. So is there a way to find out, right, the flow of yours, where it occurs? If it starts at the earlier stage of your career, and of course it can take you to the whatever level.
So Rajnikant, I have a question for you. Yeah. Now, how you are an ICF certified coach, right? So how this coaching really helps someone in the organization? Is it really their own manager and the reporting manager will help them to understand and discover their purpose, or is there something which is very much needed that the external ICF certified coach or maybe PCC or ACC will help them? Can you share something on this from your own example? Because in the internal organization, you must have coached so many people.
Yeah. Okay. In the context, I divide this question into two parts. One for the freshers and who are coming up, right? So many companies like they might have a buddy program to make them quickly get into. And then little deeper, once they get into the focused training and focused job and all, like they have a mentoring program. So that happens really, as you said, like even all of you might be aware, like reverse mentoring is happening, right?
True.
So what you told as an example is actually it's a reverse mentoring.
Yeah.
Right? Gen Z is teaching, and it's not teaching, it's in the way you get it. Right?
True.
Coming to the coaching side, yes, I would say in this context, every manager, every leader should be a coach. Not necessarily the ICF or any MCC, PCC certification, right? What are the few coaching competencies? Right? I would say only one first, right? The deep listening, active listening. So we do focus on leaders on this one. When your team members or fellow or the senior is speaking, like, would you be able to listen 100%? That will turn all other coaching competencies.
Sorry, what you said? This is what the reply of the people when they don't listen.
Exactly.
Even this is what one of the biggest, the
Yes.
ability or quality of a leader.
Yes.
If someone is coming with their own problem and the small or big issues, and you are into your own world,
Exactly.
right? You cut off from everywhere, and give your complete attention. Your entire whatever the best cognitive ability you have, put it there with the people.
Yes.
And I'm always teaching this in my emotional intelligence workshop. Look into their eyes and say, oh, fine. How did it happen? Is it happen really? Oh, it means if you can travel with that person into those moments of thoughts, what they are sharing,
Correct.
you win that person. You will be the most closest person to win that particular, that issue. Yeah, so that is why listening is one of the most important skills. And I remember in one of my organizations, we conducted 15 days workshop only on listening. Can you think about 15 days only talking about listening? Various aspects of listening. Important small simulation exercise only on listening. And it was so powerful, After that, and this is what, the organization probably need to train their leaders
Yes.
to become a very good listener.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, coming to Dr. Manish, he is one of the very good listener. I take whatever interaction we had, So I remember I was coming, getting down from the flight, and we
Yeah.
met over there. We
Yeah.
were getting in the bus to come to that place, and then we said that hey, we met somewhere, and we were able to recognize that we met in one of the events. And when I was started sharing, he was absolutely with me.
Yes.
I was able to see your, even still I remember
Yes.
your expressions and everything. How do you as a academician, as a person, you develop, what do you do especially, and if you can share to other people also, so that they can become a level next in terms of their listening ability.
Okay. Of course, none of us would disagree that listening is an art, is a skill, and if you want to become a successful leader, you have to listen. If you want to grow up in life, you have to create a team. And you have to create a team of successful people. And you can create a team of successful people only when you have the heart, courage and mind to listen to them. And the moment you listen to them, they express. And the moment your team has expressed and you have been able to listen to them and either guide them, mold them, or just say a yes to them, the team raises up on the occasion, to the occasion, and then scales up. So, art of listening, I think it comes by time, it comes by passion, it comes by your interest in the other person. And the moment you have passionate towards a common goal, then the art of listening automatically comes. A good leader listens first and then takes things forward. Of course, there are so many ways of learning the art of listening. It could just not be done over a single podcast, but then there are courses, there are ways. You have to get into the habit of getting into yoga. I mean, Indian systems are so good that right from the time you are born, your parents, your elders makes you listen. And they make you listen so much. That is an inbuilt capability of Indians to see that they are good listeners. So all those seeing this podcast and spending time on us, I'm telling you are good listeners there. And that is why they have spent time on this. So yeah, listening is an art. And if whatever success we would all have seen is because we are good listeners and we give time to our people.
One dimension I would like to bring there when it comes to listening. Two words that stand out: compliance and commitment. When you said, from the childhood we are trained to listen.
Yeah.
We comply.
Yeah, we comply. You're very right.
Elder, I should listen to you, I comply. But you don't have my commitment. And similarly, even in organizations, by authority, by seniority, etc., you may have my compliance. Saying this is what needs to be done, this is how you do it. You may have my compliance. But when do you get the commitment? You get the commitment when I feel you heard me. When
True.
I feel you understood me. And we have that resonance. And when that vibe, that resonance happens, then you have me.
True.
And the example that you spoke about your son, where he said, okay, I get this.
Compliance
It resonated.
plus commitment.
Ha.
Very right. I agree to it. If it was only compliance, it was yes.
Okay, Dad, I'll do it for you.
Yeah, and then it would never have seen result. I agree to this. And
I want to add another dimension. So the biggest challenge for listening, everyone wants to listen, right? Of course, right? Biggest challenge is the distraction and the digital distraction, right? So a manager wants to listen, but when the other person is there, if, as he said, like if you are a good leader, first try to listen, right?
True.
So how he's not taking out from the face from you that you are there, you came to meet me, and then I answer a mail, and then my mobile pops up. Pankaj, continue. So I'm ensuring that I'm listening. I'm listening. There are people. That's not actually. If you want to give importance, right, you just close up, right? If you're so busy, you can say that I'm busy. Can we meet little later? Right? The moment I give time, switch off everything. Okay, fine. Let's look at it. So that makes a lot of difference to the other person.
I would say here, the small little kid, if you see, the 3-year, 4-year, 5-year kid, when they want that mama to listen, they turn their face like, Mama, look at me. Daddy, look, Papa, look at me. Isn't it? You know? So now my question to Ram, how as an HR, we make our people to be a good leader and inculcate certain, the qualities into the leader. What kind of programs or what kind of courses would you like to suggest?
It's a mindset. It's not a skill, it's not a capability to be built, but it is about mindset. As long as I am wired to think of me, myself, I will not think about investing in others and developing others, never. As long as the system around me, the organization around me is rewarding me for individual performance, why would I even focus on thinking about others and building others? And when you start doing that, you are encouraging more and more of silos working, and that's where so much of training around teamwork, but teams don't work together. That's because by design you're telling work together as a team, but I'll evaluate you as individuals. Come on, not happening. So for it to become a culture and a movement, it's a mindset within those leaders to believe that I am not working just for myself, but I am working for the larger entity, right? The latest example, I don't know how true or false it is, but I heard a statement from Ravindra Jadeja where he said, I don't think I am performing up to the mark in this World Cup. I'm happy if the team decides to exclude me and give my place to someone else. Sounds like a large-hearted statement.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, while fact check needs to be done, but if someone is able to think like that, it's because the system has given that security to him, saying, it's not survival of the fittest, you're not fighting among each other. The larger purpose is you are part of a World Cup team and we need to win the World Cup. This is a team of 15 that has come together. It is not 11 individuals who are fighting for glory. Right. So it's that leadership mindset, and that's where we talk about culture, captain, coach. All of them are working towards. And you've seen how some players who are brilliant in one team. Take an example of Rohit Sharma and Hardik Pandya. Their story in Mumbai Indians vis-a-vis how they are performing for India.
Two different stories.
Absolutely different
and
stories.
Same individuals.
Same individuals, same capabilities. I'm sure even for Mumbai Indians, they wanted to play, they wanted to do well. But the whole game changes when the purpose is very different. So it's that mindset that you need to cultivate with the leaders that can positively energize the entire ecosystem.
Wonderful. Another important question from this wonderful nugget for HR people to learn. I would like to talk to now author Ram.
Okay.
Share few tools and techniques which you mentioned in this wonderful thing, which will be very, very helpful for our HR colleagues.
Yeah, so firstly, this book is aimed at everyone, not just HR colleagues.
True.
Aimed at everyone who wants to advance in their career. Everyone has a different concept of career. I think one aspect that really struck me is one of the chapters that I love is manufacturing your luck.
Manufacturing your luck. Nice.
I talk about we say Dhoni is lucky.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
And we have seen a lot of instances like that. We say, oh my God, this fellow is a blue-eyed guy. He's favorite and he's growing and stuff like that. So we tend to associate luck as something that happens to us. Right? But over whatever I've studied and my lived experience, you can manufacture your luck. It is about, it's just not about being in the right place at the right time. Right? There is a specific intent that you demonstrate, skills that you portray, that will provide you those opportunities. So there are 8 steps on how to manufacture your luck. That's something that I have written in this book. And personal board of directors, like Manish was referring
PBOD.
to. PBOD, right? It's you don't have especially, and I love the example that you gave about MSMEs.
Yeah.
Right, and the parallel that I draw and the specific target group to whom I wrote this book. See, if you have passed out of IIM and you are in pedigree and you are flying, and there is an ecosystem that is taking care of you, right? But if you fortunately or unfortunately not part of the top 1% cream, then you are making your own journey. How long should I stay? Whom should I approach? Placement? What should be my second job? Which one should I choose? How do I grow in my career? Should I switch fields? How do I get greater exposure? Like he said, he's running a university and he also has a windmill, right? So you diversify yourself. You grow as a professional by doing multiple things, and that you get from these personal board of directors who give you different perspectives, right? You have a mentor, and part of that personal board of directors is you have a mentor, you have someone who is an industry expert, you have someone who is a constant cheerleader for you, who is constantly supporting you no matter what. You have a constant critique, otherwise you are in an echo chamber, right? And like we say, right, at conferences we keep bumping into each other and we're like, oh yeah, we are doing great. And another thing that I say is, I so want to see non-HR people in a HR conference. Because you have HR folks talking about, hey, wow, what does HR need? What is the future, etc., etc. Whereas you don't have diversity there because you're talking among HR people.
True.
Bring in a CEO there, and then the story completely changes, right? So some of those aspects of how do you bring diversity in your experience. When people talk to me, I say I don't say it's about I have 20 years of experience. In my summary, I have written 20 experiences that I've had in my 20-year journey. Right? Experience of setting up a team, experience of laying off a team, experience of getting merged into a larger entity, experience of coming out from a larger entity to a smaller entity, experience of going through a recession. Right? So these are experiences that you count on, build on, and learn from. So a lot of those nuggets is what is the in the book. Like I said, aimed at someone probably in the last year of their B school till about 10-15 years of experience. How can I be intentional about my career and not let it happen by chance? How do you design your destiny and not go with the flow?
So there is a person called Naval Ravikant. Heard about him? Naval Ravikant is an angel investor, sits in Silicon Valley, US. And his famous quote, which has got the ever highest impression on Twitter, X, and which was how to become rich without being lucky. Yeah, and there is a complete thread on it. And still, it is one of the most impression I've ever had, on the X. And it talks about many things, about the changing in the technology, how behaviors are changing, and he is one of the, I should say, ideal person to listen, over a lot of podcasts are available on YouTube also. So another podcast was the Tim Ferriss show. If you can just listen this, and I feel, Manish, Dr. Manish, this is what, people should really understand and learn from these people. Those are really changing the world, right? So exposing them to this is what the experience, what Ramesh shared, So in the premises of the management institutes and the colleges, if such like-minded people can come and share on their own experiences, and this experience will further, resonate with a lot of experiences, and people can take it along with them. And this is what, which is maybe the transformation in the mind and heart of people.
We have C talks, wherein the CXOs, CEOs, CTOs comes and talks to the students. Now, of course, sometimes it ends up with a talk.
Yeah.
So we have got one step ahead, and we have master classes. So we have master lectures wherein people like you, the vice president of HP, the author of Rahul Dravid's book, biography, have all been a part of this institution to teach about 10 hours or 1 credit courses to the students. And they work with the students deeply, and that's what I think is required in today's journey of these youth people, because you have to get in them to make it happen. See, ISBR and business schools like us are places where things are happening. Gone are the days where the class of 60 was a class of 60 students together. Now a class of 60 has 60 different individuals, because the different career spaces that are available for students are amazing. HR was just one HR in the past. Now you have a recruitment specialist, you have an exit interview specialist, you have a performance appraisal specialist. I mean, HR by itself has got wide fields of specialists that are into it.
There are 10 to 12 sub-functions.
Amazing. So you just see what is the type of change that you expect the faculty to do. That is why it's very necessary that industry comes together and works with the student to happen.
Brilliant. So wonderful to have the C talk, what you said. C stands for what?
So here the C is either the CEO, CXO, Chief Technical Officer. So anyone who has reached the stage.
C-suite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are the people who comes and talks to the student, including a CFO. So, and in fact, they spend almost half a day on campus. And when they sign off the program, the moment they are speaking to a student, they select 4 or 5, meet them in the boardroom, and then they make them the mentors when they move out. And they observe how the student is progressing over a period of time. So the C talk does not just end with the talk. Ends with them taking someone on board and nurturing them to become the future leaders. So it's a very well crafted, designed program along with a few of the CXOs together.
Brilliant. I think institutions need to have more of such interest.
Oh, when they go, they have signed their cups and kept in our library. You will see a series of such cups, which are from the last 5 years. They have been there as memory. So when they come back, they say that yes, I was a part of this C-Talk program here.
Very nice. Thanks for sharing this. Very, very helpful.
And great set of initiatives.
Factory, right? So, right, you are actually developing the leader, which is what.
We are running short of time. So my last question, second last rather, to Rajnikant, how L&D actually can make a difference in meeting out the challenges what HR people face.
I'm looking at, when I say L&D, it's L&D for all, whatever HR, marketing, finance and all that. So now, as you say that in the classroom 60, my employees are like, we can't have a group program. Like we do still have batch programs, like let's say leadership development, communication, or coaching for managers, all that. But still we need to address the individual development need, right? So L&D now goes like few steps near to that, trying to do that more than as a push program, it's a pull mechanism. So I do have a choice to attend or take up any of the courses. It's not necessary that to do my job within the, say for example, if it is someone from finance or marketing, do only that. He may be doing a digital photography, right? You may be wondering what this person will do, but he'll bring that knowledge or that thing into it in various other forms. So now Gen Z wants to have everything, wants to have touch. Say for example, like we do offer courses on AI, right? It's not necessary for your function, but when you know that and it is easy for you to go through your so super personalization happens, right? And you know many learning platforms and LMS also trying to give you that what is required for you based on various suggestions.
So a learning organization or the leading organization.
Yeah.
So I recently, I attended one of the big conference, international conference from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, independent director. So me being an independent director, I also asked this question to the people sitting on the board, right? And they said that we are very much concerned about the learning plans of the people once they are there onboarded in the organization. So it's from hiring to hire to retire, the entire thing. Once people are there, what are the plans are there for them? So absolutely, they are not only looking for the final goal and the numbers, business numbers. They are very much interested in terms of what you are giving them on the job, right? So I hope this was a meaningful discussion amongst all four of us. At the end, Dr. Manish, big thanks to you.
Oh, I would say just wait, let us not end. Let us ask the moderator a question and let the moderator answer also. So I have one question for the moderator and then we'll wind up. And this talk will not be complete unless we touch artificial intelligence, AI. So I would like to ask our friend, artificial intelligence has started penetrating almost everything we do. In the field of HR, what is the impact of AI? What is the changes that it has made to the job, the world of the new HR aspirators, and what care should be taken, or what skills do they have to work upon to see that they get a career of their choice in future, or they don't hamper their career in future?
Super. So a very wonderful question, I should say. So I was talking to...
So there's an amazing moderator and I know you have a knowledge in this, so I didn't want to leave it here.
So I was talking to someone from Geo, and he's the chief HR officer of Geo, Harjeet Khanuja. And he said that, Pankaj, you tell me, if Uber need to onboard someone, do they have, the entire HR team to onboard someone? I said, absolutely no. If Ola, Uber and this company, Airbnb, how do they onboard a certain thing? So, as we all know that anything which is repetitive in nature can be very well, substituted by AI. Now, certain skills, so this is what the impact of AI, which will going to touch each and every, function in an organization. And HR is one of the most important, which will be going to be hit very, very, very vastly in India.
Yeah.
So, are you preparing for tomorrow? Are you preparing for the skills like coaching, what you said, the skills like emotional intelligence, the skills like mentoring? They still require people, and which is absolutely, I would say, at this point of time, is difficult to replace by AI, right? Are you really understanding and learning about the AI? What you said that you prepare, Rajnikant, that chatbot, especially that what people really wanted to ask about, which is the next program, so they can put in the chat box and automatically from the calendar they will pick up what is the next training program on the communication skills, what is the next training program on the coaching, emotional intelligence and all this. So they will pop up and help them. So my just only thing is that are you really keep on learning? Yeah, so if it is AI, learn about AI. You may not be required to do actually coding. So there are a lot of tools are available, like no code is available. You need to just assemble, pick and format, build the format, and you can build your own chatbot. But are you aware about these tricks and the tools available nowadays? Right. So the continuous learning is the only way. I don't feel that I am from HR side. I may not be, very good in this, all this technology kind of thing. They are as simple as what you can think about HR. Because HR was also alien, once when you were out of HR and you were thinking to become the HR leader or something. So anything looks scary, So I always said that anything which you are learning, it looks difficult at the beginning, messy in the middle, and fruitful at the end. Right?
True.
So have that mindset, which will possibly take you to the path of progression and the growth. And this is what I hope that I justified the
Yes.
I'll just add to it.
Yeah.
Because when I hear people talking, AI is going to hit us.
Yeah. True. And at least the present generations are thinking about it. You're right.
Yeah. So the connotation of hitting us. Is that something, not good is happening to us? Negative. It's a negative connotation. I feel AI is going to be a great multiplier.
True. A supporting tool.
AI is not going to take away any of the, like I said, we have, 10 to 12 sub-functions within HR. AI is not going to take away any of these. All the functions will remain, the functions will get remodeled, etc. The jobs are not going away. There is an AI layer that comes on all these jobs. The way I do talent acquisition is going to be very, very different.
Very nice.
Earlier we had 3 rounds of interview. You write a test, then you do a group discussion, then a personal interview, then now it's very different. By the time you apply on the careers portal, the AI will, out of 1,000 profiles, AI will tell who are the 10 profiles who are closer, who deserve your attention, time and attention. Right? So it has cut down a lot of administrative work.
True.
But it has increased the effectiveness of your hiring process. Similarly, be it talent engagement, performance management, across all levels, AI is a multiplier effect. It's not something that you should be scared of. It's something that you should embrace. Learning agility is the key, and people who will get ahead are the ones who embrace AI. People who lag behind are the ones who are skeptics of AI or even detractors of AI. They are the ones who will fall behind.
So I take it as AI is your friend.
Absolutely.
And access it and make it your best friend.
Absolutely.
Yes, Dr. Manish, I just want to add one more thing for your curious question. So, as you said, the younger generation look at like AI will replace all the jobs I may not be getting. So, it's not that way. I'm looking at AI will not replace your job, but the person learns or knows AI will replace your job.
True.
So, the idea is how quick. It's not about learning AI means how to code in the AI. How you apply the AI in your domain, right? So, like that. So, sometime back, if you look at late 90s, when computers were introduced, right? I still remember Aptech, NIT and all, like they were bank people working in bank. They said that they are all going to replace. It's not that. If you learn that, you are there. And people who have not learned, picked up, and insurance companies, bank companies, they send them out.
Yeah.
Go and learn and come. If you certify that and that. So similarly, if today in the context, whatever be your domain, finance, marketing, HR, you should learn the application of AI in your area, then you are the king. Yeah.
So business schools have already, like ISBR, have applied AI across all the courses, and how it is going to affect that student, and the student needs to have the application part of AI in their work. So it is necessary, I think, this team and teams like us work together to really make the next generations be ready and fit for the organizations and the corporates in future.
I would like to say here the saying that the master, jack of all and master of none.
Yeah.
It is replaced now, jack of all and master of one. If you are doing MBA in HR, be a master of HR, but have a knowledge of AI, have a knowledge of Web3, have a knowledge of what the things are changing in and around you, right? So I will sum up this podcast, right? Thank you so much. Dr. Manish, thank you so much for inviting all of
Thank
us
you.
in the wonderful campus of ISBR.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Rajnikant. It seems to be, earlier, the very unknown podcast, but I hope it's...
Now I would say I love it.
Yeah, we should in fact name this as a surprise podcast. I thought I was one, but all of us are the surprise people.
Free flow podcast.
And Ram, thank you so much for
Thank you
being
so much.
here at the very short notice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Great.
If you are learning from this
Thank you.
podcast, please share your 3 learnings in the comment box and keep watching the Let's Talk show. Thank you so much.